party will leave the training room to find themselves in a stone chamber of dwarven architecture. The middle of the room is dominated by a 5-sided stone column with 4 feet wide sides, at measure 8 feet tall. All of the sides have dwarven symbols carved upon them, and the 4 sides are identical. These identical sides have 5 dwarven faces placed near the center. The 5th side has 2 faces above an arrangement of 9 wooden plaques. These plaques are stuck to the wall with magnets, so they can be easily removed by the players. The 9 plaques have images upon them: a natural cavern, horizontal mine shaft, miner's pick, smelting pot above a flame, anvil, blade on a sharpening stone, axe with a magical aura, dead goblin head, crown. Written upon these plaques on the side is the text. At this point, it should be fairly obvious to the players that they must correctly match each plaque to its corresponding stone on the archway in order to leave this room. But eventually one of the players will figure out, or accidentally discover, that occasionally all of the plaques talk softly at the same time. If the party puts their ears up to the faces, they will hear the following. The first step is to find the great cavern to build your kingdom. The second step is to build deep mine. The third step is to mine the precious ore. The fourth step is to smelt the ore. The fifth step is to forge the mithril. The sixth step is to sharpen your blades. The seventh step is to enchant the blade. The eighth step is to vanquish your enemies. The final step is to rule your kingdom with wisdom. Ulru, the Deep Mother, gives us the 9 steps to be a king. Room 2. The party will enter to find themselves in a very long dungeon hallway of about 40 feet in length. The room has several features, but the most prominent is an 18 feet long by 8 feet wide checkerboard floor near the middle of the room. Each of the 36 2-foot by 2-foot squares contains a single letter, and the players may note that 9 of the blocks have special gold-colored letters. The hallway also contains a single row of unlettered tiles that cut across the hallway in the form of a magical barrier. The front and back side of this line of tiles is lit by purple ropes. A sign hanging in front of the threshold reads, "The final feature in this room is a table against the wall near the start. Upon the surface, the party will find 9 2-foot by 2-foot gold-lettered tiles, which appear to match the stone tiles on the floor. In addition, there is also a great chalice with several different beads inside it, as well as 6 bottles labeled Pilgrim's Mead, King's Wine, Potion of Protection, Potion of Treasure Finding, Elixir of Life, Universal Solvent." Once the party has placed the tiles on the floor to reveal the proper steps to cross the threshold, they may wish to drink or take one of the liquids. They may drink any of the liquids without discernible effects happening. The proper ritual for each player to cross the line of glowing tiles is to first drink some of the Pilgrim's Mead, grab a blue bead, and then walk across the threshold with their first step touching the tiles from the player's left foot. Failure to complete any of these steps correctly, the player will hear the sound of a fire explosion, and the room will be covered in an orange-red light. The player, he or she, took 10 points of holy damage. She is blown back off the threshold. When the final person crosses the threshold correctly, the players will hear the sound of a stone and metal grinding, and the DM will tell them that a secret door has opened for them. This room is a long, windy chasm. The party must walk along a 4 feet wide ledge to traverse the room. When the party is in the middle of the chasm, at the time the party will hear a sound of ice and stone cracking, and after a few seconds there will be a loud, monstrous sound. At that moment, a large white worm head will thrust out of the left wall opposite the ledge. The DM will tell the party that they have been surprised by the frost worm, and it will get a surprise attack on one member of the party. The player attacked is the person closest to the frost worm when it appears. Note that a character wearing a ring of the eye or charm of awareness is immune to this surprise, so that person will get 1 attack on the monster during the surprise round. Combat is now conducted, and after the surprise round is over, the DM will tell the party that due to the frost worm being so high it burst out of a section of the wall 30 feet above the party, only a single character getting attacked may use a melee attack against it. All other characters use missile weapons or spell attack. You may also inform the party that because of the frost worm is so high and that it quickly flies in and out of the hole, they may use potion leaping attack to make melee attacks against it. Rogues may not make a sneak attack against this foe due to its location. Cold climate effects are in place. The frost worm. Normal, AC 16, attacks plus 10, damage plus 8. Cold type, large, 40 hit points. Nightmare, AC 21, attacks 15, damage 16, save bonus plus 8, 100 hit points. Room 4. This outdoor canyon-like room features a landing on each side of the room and what appears to be a broken rope bridge over the chasm. When the party enters the room, they have traveled for a few hours after the encounter with the frostbolt, when they came upon an old but sturdy rope bridge, and the party will hear the sound of a rock slide and breaking wood. After it is finished, they have started across the bridge when a large boulder came flying down off the cliff face. Half the party got across before the boulder smashed the bridge, leaving half of the players on one side, the other half on the other side. The DM will now divide the group into 2 equal groups. The rogue character, if any, must stay on the first side of the chasm in order to have access to the rogue pod. The party must find some way to restore the bridge. Perhaps the dwarves who built the bridge left a way to repair it. When the party looks at the 4 3-foot-tall pylons that make up the 4 anchors to the bridge, 2 on each side, they will see that each pylon has a group of 32 to 33 lettered blocks. These 4-inch by 4-inch by 1-inch wood plaques are colored black, natural wood, silver, and gold. Note the words Ulru's Grace are written along the edge of each pylon. Most of the blocks are already in place in this trough, but some unplaced lettered blocks can be found littered upon each pylon's top. Each pylon contains loose lettered blocks of the 4 colors, so the party must redistribute the lettered blocks to the appropriate color grouping. They can then start to figure out where the loose lettered blocks fit into the trough. The party should quickly surmise that they have to get all the correctly colored blocks into the appropriate pylon and then place the plaques correctly into the troughs to discover the secret message. The plaques look very old and fragile, and it would not be a good idea to toss them around. The party has to find some way to transport some of the plaques to the other side without a lot of force being applied to the plaques. The party should now take the hint and begin to look around through their tokens to see if they have anything that can help. The DM will have these items available off stage to give to the party should a character show the appropriate token to the group. The tokens are for a 100-foot silk rope, pewter mug, belt pouch, ale drinker's belt. If the party does not present at least the rope and the belt pouch tokens, the DM will tell them that they were able to find these items as if they were left behind by someone else. A good method to move the plaques is to thread the pewter mug's hand through the long rope, hang a block-filled pouch on the mug, and then raise and lower each end of the tightened rope to allow the mug to slide from one side to the other. Parties may come up with other methods, but if any of the pieces are dropped, the DM will take the plaque away. The party may still be able to solve the puzzle without it. The 4 messages to be found on the 4 pylons are listed below. If the party now looks at the opposite side of the plaque facing the chasm, they will see another message written upon that side. As it says above, each party member must point to the ground and say Ulru, and then knock each pylon 3 times. If they do that, the party will hear the success sound and a UV light will turn on near the chasm. Room 5. The party will continue to follow the trail through a narrow canyon in this room. The room starts with a small gathering area, and then the room continues through a narrow passage before it opens up into a large area. Once all the party is in the small gathering area, the DM will draw their attention to be silent and to draw close to it. He will then tell the party it just caught a glimpse of a huge troll leaving the area through a narrow passage. The party has 2 rounds to prep for the fight, and that they are going to charge after the troll down the narrow passage. If a player looks through a roughly 12-inch wide opening in the canyon wall, they will see a long tunnel that goes off in a direction of the troll's location. If they look closely, they can even see a pair of monstrous feet at the end of the tunnel. This will be a warning to the party to get ready for a fight. The DM will now allow each player to take 2 actions in prep for the fight. Alertness may be cast in this period since initiative has not been called for. Once these actions are done, the DM will again speak in an excited tone and tell the party to wait about 10 seconds and then come charging down the passageway. Players should quickly fill into the room and the DM should be watching their rate of speed. The DM should allow the first 3 to 6 players to get an action during the surprise round. It is up to the discretion of the DM as to how many players qualify. Similar to 2011's underwater environment, there are special rules for 2012 to simulate characters are affected on a glacial condition. Cold climate rules are in effect. The Mountain Troll, normal, AC 15, +6 melee, 8 damage, +3 to saves, regeneration, 80 hit points. Nightmare, AC 21, attacks +12, damage 12, save bonus +8, regeneration, hit points 150. Bardic Rune Check. Successful completion of the Bardic Rune skill test will reveal to the bard that the mountain troll will regenerate unless at least 1 point of fire or acid damage is done to it each round. Room 6. The party will enter to find themselves on a wide outcropping along the wall of a canyon. The path continues along a narrow ledge that leads to another wide outcropping on the far side of the room. An archway, much like the one seen in Room 1, can be seen against the far wall. Both outcroppings have a stone obelisk resting in their centers, with the first one having 10 wooden plaques magnetically held to its surface, the second one having sockets with different images upon their surface. Both obelisks are turned away from each other so that no one can see both the metal plaques and the sockets with images, and the party will hear the sound effects of rumbling and ice cracking. After it is finished playing, the DM will step forward and tell the party that they have found themselves on the entrance to a tunnel built by the dwarves. The DM will tell them that they may whisper quietly to one another, but if the DM can hear them whispering, then they are talking too loud. The first time this occurs, the party will be warned, but each time it happens after that, the offender will be hit by a falling rock for 10 points of damage. The DM will also point out that even the vibrations from walking is dangerous, at least until the door is open. At that point, the dwarven magic will stabilize the area. Until then, the DM will tell the party that they can only take 50 steps past this first outcropping, or an avalanche will happen. The party will no doubt examine the first obelisk. They will see 10 wooden plaques, and each have different dwarven runes on them. The sign above the plaques, it is hoped that the party will quickly figure out that they must form a fireman's brigade from the first obelisk to the second obelisk so that they can pass the plaques along without taking any more steps than necessary. They will also have to softly whisper along the chain the instructions of where each plaque goes on the second obelisk, so until the first block is placed on the second pillar, no other plaques can be removed. When the plaque is removed, the player will see that the crude icon can be seen beneath. This image can be found on the second obelisk, and that is where the plaque must be placed. Any time a plaque is placed on an incorrect location, the party will hear a short rumbling sound with falling rocks. The DM will tell everyone they take 2 points of damage from falling rocks. Room 7. This room appears to be a natural mountain area at night. Instead of the sound of blowing snow, however, the party will hear soft whispers as well as the occasional distant scream. When the party enters the area, the DM will greet them in a small alcove just before the main area. In this subchamber, the DM will tell the party that their battle resolve and cleverness has gotten them to their goal, back entrance to Smoke's lair. All they must do is secure the area, and they will have completed their quest. The party rounds the corner of the room. They will start to hear a loud snoring. When they come around the corner, they will see an ominous-looking giant asleep in one corner. He is wrapped in chains. Scattered about him are blocks of ruined stone, and behind him is a cliff face with the image of a glowing rune upon its surface. Once the entire party has entered the room, the party will then hear a soft crackle of a crazed human female. Enlin, an NPC dark beguiler and the enchanted mistress of Belin, is here. She was slain by Smoke 6 weeks ago as she traveled from Ice Crag Keep. She was turned into a dark beguiler by Smoke, and she is a powerful undead monster who wields Dark Rift energy. She has the power to possess those whom she touches. She appears to be a rotten human corpse, but the area around her eyes appears to be glowing with a purple color. Her opening speech, she will then smack the giant on the arm and will say, "Awaken, my pet. I have souls for you to consume. Kill them all and let their screams echo beautifully in the vast canyon." Successful completion of the Bard Rune test will reveal to the Bard that the female monster has charmed the giant, and that he may not fight once she is destroyed. An affected character immediately comes under the complete control of the Dark Beguiler. The player will protect the Dark Beguiler, much like the Guard's special paladin ability, or attack another character. Also, the giant will immediately stop attacking the party if the Dark Beguiler should be slain. Cold climate rules are in effect. The Dark Beguiler is AC 17, +6/+6 to hit, 4 points damage, plus special, undead, Dark Rift subtype, Dark Rift aura, Charm Touch, 50 hit points. On Nightmare, AC 23, attacks +12 times 3, 8 points of damage, undead, 50% magic resistance, Dark Rift aura, Charm Touch, hit points 100. The Giant on normal, AC 14, attacks +10, damage 10, Giant 70 hit points. On Nightmare, AC 20, attacks 15, damage 20, 120 hit points.